Well, how about that game? That was insane, to say the least. But did you really expect any less when the Kansas City Chiefs are playing the Titans? I mean, really. Let's talk about it. My name is Josh Fan of ShowMeFootball.com and ArrowheadAddict.com. Welcome back to another video on my channel. And the Kansas City Chiefs just defeated the Tennessee Titans 20-17 on a Sunday night football thriller. And I'm actually recording this the day after the game because if you guys didn't see my post on my channel, I made a post after the game saying there was no live stream after the game or no post game after the game because the game going into overtime and the fact that I had to be up really early the next day, I just decided to postpone doing a video until today. But yeah, anyway, that was an insane game. And honestly, I'm a little bit glad that I waited till today to talk about it because I've had some time to let the game kind of sink into my mind. And I'm actually going to start off with a negative note, even though the Chiefs won this game. Had they lost this game, I would have had a lot to say because, look, this is Andy Reid coming off the bye week. This is the Tennessee Titans with Malik Willis starting at quarterback. I said in my preview for this game that I thought the Titans were a really fraudulent 5-2 team, to be honest, because all the teams that they had beaten before playing Kansas City had a losing record, and the two games in which they lost, they got rolled by the Buffalo Bills, and they lost to the Giants. So the point is, if the Chiefs lost this game, it would have been a moment where we go, all right, what the hell is this Chiefs team? You just lost to the Titans. You're 5-3, and you know the Chiefs are supposed to be this great team coming off the bye week under Andy Reid. You know, you're at home on prime time. Malik Willis, who only completed 5 passes last night, is the starting quarterback for the other team. You know, how the hell could you lose this game? How are you not prepared, especially after what happened last year against the Titans? Those are things that I was prepared to talk about. But ultimately, the Chiefs won. The Chiefs prevailed. Patrick Mahomes carried the team, put them on his back. And, yeah, it's a relief that they won because, look, 6-2 looks a hell of a lot better than 5-3. The offense last night was the main issue, in my opinion. They were not able to sustain drives early in the game. The first couple drives, they go down. They quickly make it 10-0, and then they completely stall out. Harrison Butker misses a field goal on one of their other trips down, and he also misses an extra point. So the Chiefs came up kind of empty-handed a couple times, which really hurt. And then I thought the biggest issue last night was that, well, one, the Chiefs couldn't run the ball. That was a big issue. But my biggest concern was that the Chiefs receivers weren't getting open, which forced Mahomes to hold the ball for a long time, and it led to the Titans getting a lot of pressure, and I think they sacked Mahomes, 4 times last night? And I don't think that was because of the offensive line play in particular. I thought the offensive line was fine. I mean, there were a couple times where the Titans got quick penetration, sure, but they did blitz a little bit, and I thought the receivers just weren't getting open consistently enough. The Titans were just out-physicaling the Chiefs, for lack of a better term. Like, they were just the more physical team. They did get away with a little bit of grabbing, which I thought was frustrating. Like, they were definitely holding our guys a lot. And that's the way the Titans play. Like, they're a physical defense. Like, they don't take any crap from the Chiefs. They're definitely an aggressive physical team. And I think that threw the Chiefs off a little bit. And then there was the fact that the Chiefs simply could not run the ball at all. And that made their offense really one-dimensional. And then, of course, a lot easier to stop. And it's not like the Chiefs didn't run the ball enough last night. Like, I saw some people saying that after Mahomes had 60 passing attempts last night. Guys, it wasn't that the Chiefs weren't running the ball enough. It's that they couldn't run the ball. I mean, look at these numbers. Isaiah Pacheco, 5 carries for 5 yards, average 1 yard per carry. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 4 carries for 5 yards, 1.2 yards per carry. Jerick McKinnon, 3 carries for 4 yards, 1.3 yards per carry. That is awful. And I don't think it was all on the running backs. I thought the offensive line blocking last night was pretty pitiful. The effort was pretty pitiful. That said, the Titans' defensive front, their defensive line, very good, very disruptive. Bud Dupree, Jeffrey Simmons, like that's a good unit. That's a good front seven that the Titans have. Nonetheless, the Chiefs have to run the ball better. I mean, when you have an offensive line like the Chiefs, Orlando Brown, granted he's had his struggles in pass blocking this year. He's a great run blocker. Trey Smith, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, those guys got to step up. Andrew Wiley got to step up as well. Like, this has to be better. And like I said, I don't think it was all the running backs, but there's a little bit of blame on both sides here. And I would honestly consider activating Ronald Jones next game, or if this continues, I would activate Ronald Jones, because at this point, why not see what he's got? He complained about wanting to be released. I totally understand why he wanted to be released. He signed here. I thought he would be a solid piece for this team. Hasn't played. Okay. Well, the Chiefs, it was reported that the Chiefs, they didn't honor his request to be released because they had plans for him and they thought that he's a valuable piece. Well, if you think he's a valuable piece, activate him. See what he's capable of. See what he can do in this offense. It wouldn't hurt just to give him a few touches and see what he can do. At the end of the day, though, the Chiefs were able to pull out the win thanks to Patrick Mahomes going absolute God mode. The success definitely came in increments, but, when it came down to it, he drove the team down the field. They scored a touchdown, got the 2-point conversion to tie the game up, and they went to overtime, and Mahomes drove them down the field again. Harrison Butker got a field goal. Defense did their job. Boom. Win. And despite the struggles from the offense, we saw some incredible plays from Patrick Mahomes last night. The throw to Justin Watson on the sideline. The throw and catch with Noah Gray connecting downfield. The one in the fourth quarter to Travis Kelce where Kelce just snagged the ball out of the air. It was a ball he probably shouldn't even have caught. And he was able to bring it down and get a first down. I mean, we saw so many amazing plays last night. And Mahomes, he's been a really underrated runner this year. He killed the Titans on his legs, kind of like he did in the 2019 AFC Championship game. And even though Mahomes was sacked 4 times throughout the game, he definitely did his best to evade pressure and set himself up to get a throw off. And again, absolutely killed the Titans with his legs. I mean, there was a play last night where Mahomes got the first down, and he put a move on Jeffrey Simmons like he was a running back. I mean, this guy, he's just insane. And as we've always said, it seems like Mahomes is always just a bit faster than the guy chasing him. He doesn't have elite speed or anything, especially not for a quarterback, but he just always seems to outrun the guy that's chasing him. We also got to see the debut of Kadarius Toney last night. He had a couple of nice catches, ran a really nice route on that first catch of the game. And then there was also a play that's going around Twitter where he was lined up in line and he absolutely pancaked a defensive lineman. Like Kadarius Toney, he's like maybe 5'10", like 180 pounds or something like that, and just, boom, knocked the defensive lineman to the ground. So that'll get him on the field very quickly. Frustrating day for the offense, but definitely some bright spots, and you hope this is just a game where they were out of it for whatever reason. Andy Reid just went in with a bad game plan, and let's just hope the Chiefs don't see the Titans again. Let's put it that way. As for the defensive performance from this team, they definitely tightened up as the game went on. If I had any complaints about them, the run defense and really the tackling in the first half was god-awful. Derrick Henry ran for 92 yards in the first half alone, but he only ended up finishing the game with 115, which, look, 115 yards is 115 yards, but that definitely shows the Chiefs tightened up as the game went on. We saw guys like Colin Saunders getting there and making plays. Nick Bolton, who was struggling, especially at the beginning of the game, definitely set the tone with that big tackle for a loss in the second half. I think that really got the defense going, and it signified a momentum shift in the game. I said before the game that Derrick Henry is really the only real threat on that Titans offense. That was kind of true. Malik Willis wasn't doing anything. He can run a little bit, Malik Willis can, but their game plan was Derrick Henry, like point blank. That's what it was. And we know the Chiefs are capable of stopping Derrick Henry. They've risen to the occasion before. We've seen it happen. To me, stopping Derrick Henry is like 50% mental. And when this team is mentally up to the task, they can stop Derrick Henry whenever they want. And as you saw in the second half, Derrick Henry was pretty much a non-factor. In that first half, the Chiefs were playing soft. They weren't really finishing on their tackles, and that's how the Titans were able to get a bunch of huge plays. And Chiefs tightened up, give them their credit. This is still a young defense. They're still learning. And we know Spags defenses tend to start slow. Spags made adjustments, and the defense really got better as the game went on. Also, shout out Trent McDuffie, who in his first game back last night was in 45 coverage snaps and did not allow a single reception. I mean, that dude is a baller. I mean, small sample size, but from what we've seen from Trent McDuffie so far, he is a lockdown cornerback. It was also really encouraging to see the pass rush step up as the game went on, and in the clutch, Chris Jones was getting pressure. George Karlaftis was getting pressure. Colin Saunders got a sack. Carlos Dunlap with a huge sack on Malik Willis in the fourth quarter. Really just encouraging performance down the stretch from the Chiefs defense. All in all, it was an ugly game, an ugly win, but great teams, when they're not playing well, find ways to win the game. And players like Patrick Mahomes, when things aren't looking good, tend to answer the call and step up when their teams need them the most. And that's what we saw last night. One more note before I wrap up this video, though. Chiefs, or if anyone that works for the Chiefs is listening, please extend Juju Smith-Schuster before he becomes a free agent, because that guy continues to be a perfect fit in this offense, a perfect fit for the Chiefs. And I just really hope they can find a way to lock him up long term, because they need to keep him. They cannot afford to let Juju Smith-Schuster go. And really, in my opinion, they can't afford to let him hit free agency, because with the rather weak free agent class this year, some team is going to pay Juju that needs a wide receiver. And I would much rather that team be the Chiefs. So, yeah, go ahead and get ahead of that. But that's all I got for this one, guys. Again, ugly game, but Chiefs pull out the win. And everyone can breathe a little bit. They're 6-2. Things are looking good. The Bills own the tiebreaker, but they're tied with the Bills right now for the number 1 seed in the AFC. So, things are looking up. They could always be a lot worse. But yeah, I want to hear from you guys in the comments, though. What did you think of last night's game? And what are your guys' general thoughts? Let me know. Do you agree, disagree with anything I said? Let's get some dialogue going, as always. But make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. And make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com. And I will see you all in the next one. Go Chiefs!